Hello, everybody. This is Ashish Verma from Indian Cultural Society of East Brunswick. We welcome you for this amazing day of Autism Awareness Walkathon 2020. This is an online event. We all know why we are online today. I would welcome you all to this amazing session of inclusion, involvement, understanding, and best of all, education towards what autism is, what we can do about it. So welcome everybody. Welcome to all. And with that, I would invite Debjani Banerjee, President of Indian Cultural Society of East Brunswick. Welcome, Debjani. And we have an amazing panel of people to talk about who are experts in this field. And over to you, Debjani, to introduce as well as lay out what are we doing today and how in the timeline. Debjani, we need you to unmute.
Thank you. Sorry, the learning process. Sorry. Thank you, Ashish. And our committee member Pooja Daga is also with us, and we'll be kind of taking this session through Zoom live on Facebook as you see us. The speakers have graciously joined us. Very short planning that we had for this online session. As you know, things have turned topsy-turvy, but we're trying our best at ICS to stay connected more than ever. We're socially distant, but this is the time that we need to rise in compassion, empathy, and innovation has become a key of how we are connecting with you all and staying, up to date with what's happening in our community. And that ties, very nicely with this event that we've been holding for past 2 years. And it was brought to us by one of our current committee members, Anusha Shadri, and Charity Crossing in Delaware. I know Charity Crossing is watching us live. Thank you once again for bringing to us this idea of spreading awareness of children in the spectrum, of bringing families who are raising children in the spectrum and connecting them with resources, doctors, services within the township and in and around East Brunswick. And it's been a tremendous success for the last 2 years. And we just couldn't let go, even though we've gone virtual, we thought we'd have the speakers today with warm-up session and a dance workshop at the end to finish up. So as you can see in the view that the speakers are waiting, so we encourage you to stay with us. It's just 1.5 hours of your time, and it would mean a lot to us as we spread awareness about the children in the spectrum, the families, and the resources as to how they can connect. One of the beneficiary for this year is Eden Autism. We're not actively fundraising at this point. We wanted to do the event in April because April is Autism Awareness Month. I encourage you to go online, find out about Eden Autism New Jersey. It's based out of Princeton, and it works with adults and children from diagnosis to placement in work field. So, the full spectrum of services are offered by Eden Autism. So this event is spreading awareness, and you can also participate from today through, I think from yesterday through Monday, by sending us a snapshot of your steps. 5,400 is all we are asking. If it's less than that, so be it. But it just energizes us to see that the community is participating with us in spreading awareness. There is a link that we floated before. We'll float it again after the event. You can upload your pictures there, and we'll share it with our Facebook community, the ICS family. And with that, I would like to welcome Dr. Pillai. Dr. Bala Pillai held a warm-up session last year for the same Autism Awareness Walk in East Brunswick. It was a tremendous success, And there were so many messages sent to us asking who that person was who came in. She was not in our timeline, graciously just jumped in and helped warm up and energize the event. The mayor has asked me who that person was. It was a tremendously successful session. So we connected with her again and asked her, asked her to do a small presentation, a warm up, and just to give you a brief intro about Dr. Pillai. Dr. Pillai has a doctorate in physical therapy, has an advanced master's in development disorders, and she's a board certified specialist in pediatric physical therapy. So I, give the floor now to Dr. Bala Pillai.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation on physical activity, medicine for individuals on the autism spectrum. I would really like to thank ICS for bringing us together and being such a resource to the community. I am very, very, very passionate about bringing to attention things, evidence-based interventions, and exercise and physical activity has been included in the evidence-based intervention by AFIRM. AFIRM is Autism Intervention Focused Resources and Modules. So that is an evidence-based intervention. And it is so simple, it is so easy for parents to do with so many interventions over there. I think I was really excited, and I want to bring this out to the community and how we can do this. So before I go into that, I'm going to go into a warm-up session. But before I go into that, I just want to talk a little bit about children and play. Children spend most of their time in schools these days, and that's what is normal. They spend a lot of time in schools, and their universal language is play. So it's every child's right to get the best experience when they go to school. And we are in the United States of America, where the children who have special needs get these resources. But what the government says is that they need to experience an appropriate education in the school systems. And if they need medical help for that, that's what they're going to be getting to improve their school experience. But now their school experience, a lot of people think school experience is only academic, but it's not. It's also physical fitness. It's also social skills. It's basically how to live in society. And play plays a very important part. The reason I'm talking about this so much is if for all the people who have anyone in the autism spectrum, we know that the focus of intervention was on social communication and social skills. If they were lucky, they got social skills in the school districts. But the one thing that was missing, which people, we were not aware of, is that motor skills beyond running were not being developed in children on the spectrum. And we used to just take it for granted that their social skills and their ability to play social games was something that they were just not interested in. We made an assumption that they could actually do the movements, but we now know, the research has come out around 2007, that they have motor skill impairments. It's not in walking so much and in running, but it is in agility, balance, and coordination. These are the skills you need when you want to play games as simple as tag, hopscotch. You want to play London, freeze, green light, red light. All those things need a more advanced motor skill than just running around. And children did not have that. And just like how speech needs a speech therapist, motor skills would need a physical therapist. So I really want to emphasize to parents that I know it seems like your child could be having challenges, in eating, in sleeping, social skills and all those things. But what if I tell you that physical activity, when given in the right dosage and intensity, can actually impact all their impairments? It can also improve speech, because for speech, you need the agility and coordination between different muscles in your face and your throat. So it does have an impact on that. And you don't have to take my word for it. It is, the research is there to prove that. So a lot of times parents say we can't really do too much of physical activity with the children, but there are some autism friendly tips that I'm going to be talking about a lot. Today I'm going to show you something, but if you're very interested in that, on Friday I'm going to be talking for an hour session, and you'll get information about that webinar on the ICS website. So let's start. Everybody please stand up, whoever's watching, and I'm going to start with exercises which uses music. But before I put the music on, I'm just going to go on the skills that every child on the autism spectrum will have, and that is walking. So with walking, I'm going to just show you, these are the skills that they will have. You can have two, so those are, you need to have visual props, and then, you know, these are two hula hoops. So you can get your legs apart this way, and you can tell your child to keep their legs apart, and we're going to go on shifting weight this way. You can tell them to shift weight like that, and then that's going to be what I'm going to do primarily. And we're going to be shaking our body, because that's a beautiful way of just shaking, telling them to shake their hands, telling them to shake their shoulders, telling them to shake their hips. So I'm going to put a song on, and let's see how we can do that.
Shake my sillies out, shake, shake, shake my sillies out, shake, shake, shake my sillies out, wiggle my waggles away. I gotta clap, clap, clap my crazies out, clap, clap, clap my crazies out, clap, clap, clap my crazies out, and wiggle my waggles away.
You can go up.
I gotta jump, jump, jump my jiggles out, jump, jump, jump my jiggles out, jump, jump, jump my jiggles out, and wiggle my waggles away.
If child can't jump, you just do this.
Yawn, yawn my sleepies out, yawn, yawn, yawn my sleepies out, yawn, yawn, yawn my sleepies out, and wiggle my waggles away. I gotta shake, shake, shake my sillies out, shake, shake.
Get your
shake
hands
my
out this
sillies
way.
out, shake, shake, shake my sillies out, and wiggle my waggles away, and wiggle my waggles away.
So that's one thing that you could do. Another song that you could play with them is, most children on the spectrum don't have good body awareness or spatial awareness. So for that, we can teach them. Actually, you can do this.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
So this particular song actually also works with rhythm and agility. So it's a really nice song for you to play with your children. So I just wanted you all to be conscious of that this also has agility into it and speed.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. One more time. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
So the point that I wanted to make with this is, even though children have limited motor abilities, and when I say limited, it's not limited compared to the other children who have developmental disabilities, because most of them have problems physically that we can see. They can't walk, or their posture is bad and things like that. But children on the spectrum, you know, if you see a child on the spectrum, it's very difficult to sort of say anything is different about him or her. And it's only in the way when they start interacting with people, you may think that, something is different about that child. So a lot of times the expectations that we have from children on the spectrum is we're always expecting them to be like a neurotypical child. And that expectation sometimes, just weighs on them and it eats into their self-confidence. So we always have to be sort of conscious about what our expectations from them are, and knowing what they can do and what they cannot do will really help parents to advocate for their child. Because I have been in New Jersey school systems, and very, very rarely do they include a physical therapist in the autism teams. And if they do they refer them for walking on their toes, when there are much more important impairments that a physical therapist can help with. For example, physical activity really does have an impact on focus, on task behaviors, out of chair behaviors, then their self-regulation, all that we can easily impact. It's not with direct services. We have to educate the teachers in what they can do for the child. So what does physical activity really do for children? The first thing I want to say is, obesity is increasing in children on the spectrum. And physical fitness is a right for every child who's typically developing and atypically developing. But physical fitness becomes really quite a challenge in school districts because teaching a child on the spectrum requires special skills. And even if a teacher is well established in special education, for children on the spectrum, the teaching strategies are just a little bit different. Not very different, but when those are in place, it makes a big difference. So I have been in school districts for many, many years, and I have seen children go from preschool to high school. And I have seen how they go up the grade and they they become less and less physically active. So usually by the time they're high schoolers, it's not unusual to see them go on, getting a little bit more obese. So obesity related health issues is really a concern that we have for children on the spectrum. And these same kids, when they were in preschool and early elementary, they would have been running around a lot. So playing, screen time and digital games and things like that, it's not that we have to take it away from them completely, but we have to balance it out with physical activities. So it plays a very, very important role. So other than that, what are the other reasons that we would want children on the spectrum to include physical activity in their daily life? Besides the obvious, it also has an effect on autism specific impairments. So that in itself should make parents really, wonder what is it about it and try and implement physical activity with their children. I mean, I'm going to agree that it's very difficult to teach children on the spectrum. You need to know what the autism friendly tips are, and those are not really hard at all. But if you get familiar with it, you can definitely help your child implement and embed physical activity into their daily program. It is very easy. You can do something as simple as just walking. You can, if your child likes jumping, even just jumping up and down on the bed, but doing it for 30 minutes to a point where they are actually breathing hard, because that's where you get the therapeutic benefit. They have to be breathing hard, because when they breathe hard, that means their heart is pumping hard. So you're giving the heart good exercise. Blood is being circulated to all the different parts of the body. They're breathing hard. So that means oxygenation is getting better. And then very few people know this, that the brain uses the same neural pathways for motor skills that it uses for academic skills. So what does that mean? If your child is struggling in academics and if you improve their motor skills, like agility, balance, and coordination, it is connected with their academic skills. So what the research says is that locomotion, that is the way you go from point A to point B, walking, running, galloping, skipping, that is connected with reading. So skipping and reading skills are connected. And, object manipulation skills, like anything, throwing the ball, playing with hula hoops, with scarves, those things are connected with math skills. And so there is a connection and there is a need to improve their motor skills. So I just wanted to increase awareness about motor skills and play and physical activity. It is a very easy evidence-based intervention that you could incorporate with children on the spectrum. It would have an impact on their social skills, on their communication, on their attention, focus, their behaviors. It improves behaviors that we want and decreases the behaviors that we don't want. And I would encourage you all to, attend my webinar on tips and autism-friendly ways in increasing physical activity. And if you all have any questions, I would welcome it. I usually look at videos. Even if you're very far away, you can send a video of how you encourage physical activity in your child and reach out to me. It would be my pleasure to tell you what small changes you can make. That's what I do right now. Parents send me what they are doing. And just with very, very small changes, just today I had a parent tell me that it's such a small change, but she's happy. I don't have to, force her to do it. And she doesn't have a sad face and I'm not helping her too much. So the whole goal of physical activity and play is they need to initiate it. They have to be happy doing it, and they, can do it by themselves. They don't have to depend on you to go and do anything physical. So I would really, I hope all of you all can take something away from today's, short webinar. And if you all can do anything to increase the physical activity in your child, you're going to be doing something really good for your child, and you're going to see an improvement in all the areas that they have a hard time with. So I would really like to thank ICS once again for giving me this opportunity to increase awareness about physical activities. And if anyone has questions, as I said, please reach out to them and I will definitely answer all your questions. So if you want,
Ashish, you are muted. Unmute. Ashish.
Yep. Dr. Pillai, would you like to take a few minutes and walk through the presentation that you have, which talks through some very important points? So I can put them on and then you can talk them through. Thank you. All right, Dr. Pillai, this is your. Dr. Pillai, you can unmute yourself and please carry on.
Can you take it to the next slide? Okay. So I just actually went over this. I didn't realize that you did have this on. So this is great for everyone watching too. You'll have access to this PowerPoint. I wanted to just talk about how children on the spectrum, just like all children, they do go to school and play is really very important. But research now says, and I'm sure all parents know, that children do not want to go and play outside. They prefer screen time and they prefer playing inside and indoors and on digital games. So the result of that, unfortunately, is that children all children have obesity. Obesity is on the rise, and all children have this problem. It's not just children who have developmental disabilities. So one of the things is, as a therapist, I really looked into it and I said, why do children on the spectrum, why are they not playing? Yes, we know they have social skills issues, but there's no reason for them not to be playing by themselves, because they do other activities, they can do it by themselves and they won't do it with other children. But I had noticed that simple things like riding a bike, playing hopscotch, doing anything even by themselves, they cannot do it. So that made me wonder that whether their motor skills were affected. And that took me on a journey where actually it led me to do my doctorate. It led me to be part of the autism task force, just to increase awareness about how important it is to have physical activity and motor skills as part of a child's, therapy sessions in school, and in increasing awareness with parents too. You can just go to the next slide. So the 4 P's that matter is advanced motor skills is deficit in autism. I know I'm saying it a lot, and I hope this is the one takeaway all parents who are watching this will take away, or anybody who is in the school system will take this away, is that motor skills is deficit in children in the autism spectrum. It's not deficit until the walking stage, but it is after the walking stage. So physical activity is good for all children. It's not just, we're not trying to say that it's only good for children on the spectrum. Everyone knows physical activity is good for everybody. But for children who need it on a therapeutic basis, we need it in school every day. So parents have to do it, their part, do it, at home for 30 minutes so that the child is panting, but they can still talk. So what research says is, for us to get therapeutic benefits from physical activity, we need to be breathing hard. And if you're not breathing hard, you're not getting the therapeutic benefits. You're going to get some benefit, but not the therapeutic benefits that we're targeting in children on the spectrum. So if you can go to the next slide, please. So what I have found working in school districts that I had already mentioned is that we don't get referrals to make a difference in school readiness skills, which is attention, focus, and getting out of their chair and wanting to move around a lot. They have issues with personal space, with body awareness, with spatial awareness. All these things make it very difficult for them to follow any type of instructions in terms of, stand behind that child. They have no concept of behind and forward. It's not all of them, but that's a general thing that most children on the spectrum have. And so there is a need for therapists to be addressing these skills, but they're very rarely sent to us for that. They are sent to us for fine motor, that's for OT, and, like for buttoning and skills like that. And for PT, it is if the child is walking on their toes or they're not walking up the stairs with a mature pattern, but they are not referring the children to us for behavior management, which can be done with physical activity first, and then we could think about, behaviorist and any medications. So the first line of action should be physical activity, because research now says that instead of just thinking of exercise for reducing your waistline, we now know that it does have an impact on cognitive skills, which is attention and focus. And these are the things that teachers are concerned about. So we need to be involved in the autism teams. You can go to the next one. So I already told you what the exercise does. It increases the heart rate, breathing heavily. And the one thing that I forgot to tell you is the brain communicates with the rest of the body through electrical impulses. And we need something called neurotransmitters, which has to be in a particular balance. So this is released when they are breathing hard. And that's another reason why we need to get them to do physical activity on a daily basis for 30 minutes to get that therapeutic benefit. Please go to the next slide. I already mentioned to you that motor skills and academic skills go hand in hand. So you will see an improvement. I have seen this when I have worked with children, is that when I work on their motor skills, then, the teacher who teaches reading and math, they come to me and they say, oh, he's not struggling as much. So we have seen it. We have seen that happening, and you will see it too if you encourage physical activity on a daily basis. So now another thing that I wanted to emphasize is specific movements, they target different parts of the brain. So if you want your child to get more calm, it's a particular type of activity that you have to do. If you want them to be alert, you have to do a different type of activity. If you want them to get a little bit more organized, that's a different set of activities. So for that, you would need a therapist to guide you through it. So it's very important that you understand what your expectations should be from a therapist, because that's another thing that I find is that parents just think that OT and PT is for fine and gross motor, but not for the cognitive part of it. So we do play a very important part with physical activity in impacting focus, attention, sequencing, problem solving, and things like that. Next slide, please. So please attend my webinar on Friday. You'll have all the details for it on the ICS website. And I look forward to sharing autism-friendly tips so that you can increase physical activity in your children. And thank you so much for listening to this. If you have any questions, as I said, please reach out, and it would be my pleasure to talk to you about that. Thank you. Thank you, ICS.
Thank you, Dr. Pillai. Thank you so much for taking us through the very, very beneficial information. Really, really useful. And good luck for the Friday session as well. I'm sure a lot of followers will follow you on the Friday session as well. So thank you again, Dr. Pillai. Now with that great start for the session today, I would like to introduce our next panelist, Dr. Raji. And we call her Dr. Raji, Dr. Rajeshwari Muthuswamy. She is General Psychiatry, Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, and she's representing ICS today with her information for autism. She's been attached to us for quite a while. Thanks for your guidance all along, Dr. Raji. And we will seek your guidance continuing onwards as we strive to attain more education on this topic as we go forward for ourselves and our society. So over to you, Dr. Raji, for sharing your thoughts with us today.
Hi, thank you so much. It's my pleasure to meet you all in the day of this, COVID-19 and physical distancing. One of the things I thought that today I would like to bring to attention to all the parents and the family members is about how the current situation is affecting our children, the children with special needs, particularly children with autism and autism spectrum disorders. One of the things that we have to notice is we are all talking about keeping ourselves socially distant. The phrase that I would like to use, that we need to be physically distant from one another, but socially connected. Let us not forget, we are all social animals. If we do not connect with socially, then we are going to end up with a lot of mental health issues as parents, as caregivers, with depression, anxiety, overwhelming stress, and everything. So let us all physically distance ourselves, but stay socially connected. One of the things that we started noticing early on with this, staying at home and social isolation and things like that, was our routines got changed. And I think it was a great awakening, I would say, for just all the parents and the caregivers, because one of the traits of autism spectrum disorder kids is we need to keep the structure, we need to keep the routine. And if the routine changes, we see that they get easily overwhelmed, easily upset, and it becomes an issue. And it has always been parents have always asked me it is very difficult to maintain the routine. Why is this happening to them? All we have to just do is just take a step back of how we felt within the first 2 weeks of when we were asked to stay home. Our routine got totally upended. We got totally bewildered. We were we didn't know what to do, whether we work from home, whether we go out, not go out, and how much of confusion that caused us, but also how much of anxiety and overwhelming sensation that caused us. I want us all to take a moment and think about it and say if you have to live like that all your life, when the routine changes, it is going to be very difficult. I think it is all a take-home message for us to say, what, just a glimpse of what these kids and young teens and young adults are going through on a day by day, when we casually say like, you know what, we don't have to do this today, we don't have to like, you know, follow this routine. So I think it gives us a great sense of like, you know, what they are going through, so that like we become more aware of some of their struggles and make us more empathic as their caregivers, as their parents and everything. And one of the things that I also want to mention is like, you know, we always think of kids in the spectrum as either misperceiving social cues or socially awkward and things like that, which are true. But let us also not forget, they also crave social attention. So we should keep in mind, like, you know, these kids want the social interactions, but in a very different plane. So in this day and age of physical isolation, we have to make sure that they're also socially connected. We have to keep up their routine. We have to make sure that as much as we keep our routine, that we are also following their routines, whether it is their bedtime routine, whether it is like, you know, what time that they have breakfast. And I understand that there is like, you know, school is all closed and everything. So what to do? Because that is a big chunk of their day. So what I would suggest and my recommendation would be to kind of like, you know, chop up the days into kind of segments. Activities before lunch. So if you have like a 2 hours and kind of like, you know, chop it into have activities, the first hour would be schoolwork, whether you have a designated space so that it becomes a routine and a structure for them. These are all things that is going to definitely decrease their anxiety on a daily basis, because you are keeping the routine, and the routine is going to make them less anxious, less overwhelmed, and in turn it's going to make us as parents to be easy to provide the care that they need at this point. So divide them into segments and keep up the routine, whether you're going to do the school work in the morning, and that means like, you know, you have to keep it as before lunch kind of a thing. And then like, you know, afternoon, and as Dr. Pillai said, like, you know what, we have to make sure that they are moving around, that they are getting their exercises, that they are keeping themselves physically fit. Because when they are physically fit, they're also going to expend some of the energy that they have accumulated throughout the day. And that is going to definitely decrease their anxiety. That is definitely going to decrease the temper tantrums, things that you would notice more during the evening hours. One of the studies that got recently published said, like, you know, the age group of people who are most affected are between 16 to 24-year-olds with this COVID-19 stay at home, because their social life is unplugged at this time. And it is more so with kids in the spectrum, more so with kids, their siblings, more so with the tremendous amount of anxiety that they are also feeling. And they also are talking about increased depression and anxiety, more in children and adolescents who have an underlying medical condition. And that is more so for our children who have the special needs at this point. So we have to be very mindful about like how we are going to address this kind of anxiety. One of the things is decrease the screen time that they're accessing or talking about, like, you know, with other children or adolescents about the school closure or about what is going to happen in the future, because the future to them seems to be like in a big blob, and that will make them more anxious. So curtail on the amount of information that they are getting about the COVID-19 or the school closures or anything like that. Make sure that they are living in a day-tight compartments, that their day is structured for that day alone, and not talking about like what is going to happen tomorrow or the day after or the weekend. So keeping them in the day-tight compartments is good for the kids, and also it's also good, it's going to be great for us as adults. And also have a time where you're going to have like play a social game with the kids, that is their time, so that like you are giving them the one-on-one attention. So in that sense, that is also going to make sure that you are promoting the social interaction with them, and it is also going to de-stress as parents, because we are also setting apart a time for them to relax, which could also be the time for us to relax at that time. And talk about their anxiety when they are coming to you and asking you the same questions over and over again, which can become very overwhelming for the parents. So keep understanding that they are coming to us and asking the same questions over and over because they are super stressed. And I understand that it can add to our anxiety also, but try to answer the questions in short sentences without elaborating much, because the more elaboration that you give, the more questions and more anxiety it is going to provoke in them. For example, if they come and ask, like, you know, is the school going to open tomorrow? We can say, I don't know. Or you can say, like, I will let you know as soon as I know about it. That question can come up 15 times a day or 20 times a day. Take turns. As both parents, most of the time, or like, you know, staying home, or like, you know, other caregivers are staying home with the kids in the spectrum disorder, take turns so that, like, you know, one of you do not feel like, that you are overwhelmed or you're burnt out because of this interaction. Keeping the routine, making sure that they are getting physical exercises, keeping them as much away from negative messages that they are getting, addressing their social needs, whether through social interaction with their other friends, whether you're doing a virtual play date with the other people, whether they are like connecting through Xbox, any PlayStation, keep that to a kind of like, certain amount of time so that they are getting the social interaction that they need at this point is going to be the key for us to make sure that the kids are coming out of this, physical distancing in a way that are healthier for them, so that we do not intentionally produce kids who are going to be a little bit more anxious or more moody at the end when school reopens and when when things ease up for us. So my take home, you guys have awesome kids, take care of them, keep the physical distance, but keep the social interactions alive and well, and make sure that their anxiety questions are answered in a short sentences. Keep the routine, their physical health and their mental health. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Raji, for those insightful tips for us. We really, really appreciate you coming on today, and I'm sure you've been very, very helpful for all parents. Next, we have Caitlin Kehoe, who's here from Daisy Recreation Program. That is very near and dear to me because I'm a sister of someone with special needs. So this program is great for parents to be a part of because it's a summer camp and a camp throughout the year that you could be part of as a parent, where your child could be 5 years old to an adult and functioning adult. So we have a video from Caitlin Kehoe, who was home with the newborn, but she took some time out for us and made a video to talk to you a little bit about the Daisy Recreation Program.
Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin Kehoe and I am the Assistant Coordinator of the Daisy Recreation Program here in East Brunswick. The Daisy Recreation Program is a special needs recreation program based out of East Brunswick Township in our Recreation Department. We serve all populations and all ages through camps and many year-round programs. Those programs include a bowling program that we do over at Bolero in North Brunswick. Many of those bowlers go on to compete in Special Olympics, which is a really great opportunity for them that they may not have had outside of the Daisy program. We also have our TAD program, which is a Thursday night social and leisure group. And there's quite a wide range of participants that go there. We also have our Saturday day program, and that is a full day program that's filled with lots of different activities. That includes art and different movement activities. So we like to do yoga. Sometimes we have Zumba come in. We do cooking groups where we cook things like dessert and meals and things like that that the participants really seem to enjoy. We also will go on trips. They could be full day trips, half day trips. So we like going to the library, the mall. We've gone to pottery places, and we also have people come into our facility. So we've had people like Unique Creatures that bring in animals and do a whole presentation. Again, people from the library, like I mentioned before, Zumba. So it's a really fun program. Again, participants of all ages and all populations will come and join us for that. And as well as summer camp, and that goes anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks during the summer. Again, all ages, and a really fun time, a really fun experience for a lot of our population and participants here that will come and join us. Really great program, highly recommend it obviously to everybody. Our program really offers the opportunity for our participants to increase on their social skills, make friends, engage in activities that they may not have previously done at home, and most importantly, we really want them to be in an environment where they feel accepted, where they feel loved. We really pride ourselves in the fact that all of our staff, and I can honestly say this, that all of our staff come to the Daisy program, and we truly love working with the participants. And we have a motto that if you don't feel, if you can't have fun at the Daisy program, then our participants won't. And we really have the best staff in the world. We truly do. So we really want to make sure our participants feel loved and accepted there. Also, for parents and families, we really offer the opportunity for them to receive respite. Being a parent within this population is very difficult. It's stressful, and we totally understand that. So we want to give you the opportunity to receive some respite, so you can send your child to our program. Obviously, like I said, we have our Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday program that they can join, as well as camp. For more information about the DAISY program, please visit eastbrunswick.org, go to our recreation page. There are a lot of programs and information there related to the DAISY program. Also, you can go onto Facebook and visit the DAISY Recreation Facebook page, where we are constantly posting updates and pictures, information about different events and fundraisers that we're holding, as well as go to We Love Daisy, which is the Facebook page for our Daisy Association. And the Daisy Association provides us with a lot of funding and support that we need for many of our programs. So they will also post information about fundraisers. Again, visit those pages, and I hope you all have a great Sunday and you're all staying healthy and safe. Bye.
Thank you, Caitlin, for that great session, recorded, but glad you could find the time to send it over to us. And like Caitlin was mentioning, I looked up the DAISY Facebook page, a vibrant presence on social media, lot of, images, activities. So if you want to find out more about them, you can find out on their Facebook page or go to the website and get more information. And as to how they are going to tweak their services or change, or, with this evolving scenario, a lot of things we constantly need to keep ourselves updated, as, the normal is a new normal for us now. And, I think this session is so wonderful. Thank you to all the speakers who have come on before. And with that, I would like to invite a young person from Princeton High School. Her name is Prachi Mittal, and Prachi is the founder of, hi Prachi. Prachi is the founder of the Boomerang Project, and I want you guys to hear a little bit about her organization, the mission statement, and what Prachi plans to achieve through this organization. So I'm going to bring in Prachi Mittal. Prachi, you need to unmute yourself. Unmute. Thank you.
So hello everyone, my name is Prachi Mittal, and I am a 16-year-old with a passion for spreading special needs awareness and acts of kindness. So to do this, I started what I call the Boomerang Project, and our slogan is what goes around comes around. The mission of the Boomerang Project is to unite the special needs and mainstream community through activities that benefit society as a whole. So I would like to mention some of the activities that the Boomerang Project has done. So we have made bagged lunches for the hungry, and at this event, we started off with an icebreaker, of course, to get the kids to socialize and introduce themselves. And then we worked on skills such as making the sandwiches, which were peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and just overall assembling the bags, which we donated to Task of Trenton to distribute. Another activity that we have done is hold a hygiene drive, where we have been collecting hygiene products to make kits, which we will also donate. Due to the coronavirus, we have stopped, of course, our in-person meetings, but we have still been holding meetings virtually. And these meetings are virtual yoga, which happen every other Tuesday from 4 to 5, sponsored by a New Life Yoga Studio. And the purpose of this meeting is to teach skills of mindfulness and present the kids with an opportunity to meet one another and see each other face to face, over through a screen, of course, during this tough time. And also the Boomerang Project, each meeting intends to, like I said, jumpstart long-lasting relationships between the special needs and mainstream's kids, and to provide a learning experience for both sides, and to present a safe space to socialize and serve society through community service projects. Now I'd like to take a little bit of time to introduce you to the reason my passion for special needs is one of my really great passions. So this is my older brother, who is on the special needs spectrum, and he's going to introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Sakim Patel. I'm 19 years old. I'm Bati's older brother.
So like you said, this is my older brother, Sankit, and being the younger sister, I have seen him have social cravings to meet with people and just interact and build relationships and friendships, just like we all need in our lives as we are social beings. However, as many of you may know, that kids on the special needs spectrum do sometimes have trouble when it comes to social situations. So that is one of the reasons I started this project, to create an avenue for these kids to interact while benefiting the society at the same time. Another reason I started this is because at the high school I go to, Princeton High School, we have an amazing special needs program. But what I did notice is that the kids in the program walk very, not differently from the mainstream kids, and we don't interact as much. So I took this initiative to my school as well, with a mission to try to unite both communities and spread awareness in general.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say about the project. So if you have any questions, please email the boomerangprojects@gmail.com, or feel free to ask through ICS. And if you like my initiative, definitely check out the website for more information, and don't forget to sign up to become a boomerang today. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much, ICS, for having me and letting me speak about my project.
Brachi, I think the pleasure is all yours. I think we all have some wet eyes right now. I think you definitely need a round of applause from us, because what you're doing is so excellent. And seeing your brother right now, my brother is in the next room also watching. This is just so exciting to see. Thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about your project. I can't wait to sign up. Next, we have a colleague of mine, Mr. Michael Swayze, who's a teacher at East Brunswick Hammersholt Schools. He's here to talk about his experience with the kids on the spectrum and how to improve social interaction. So without any more wait, Mr. Swayze, you're on.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? It's so great to be a part of this. I've heard some amazing things today, especially that last project that we just heard about. That is awesome. There we go. So my name is Mike Swayze. I am a teacher of autism spectrum disorders. I work in East Brunswick at the Hammersholt Middle School. I've been teaching for 13 years right now. I started off kind of down by me in a town called Manchester. I worked at a regional day school. It's kind of where it all started. I received my bachelor's and master's degree from both Georgian Court University. I had a focus on autism, which led me into the field. Like I said, I started working in Hammersholt at 2007, and I've been there ever since. What inspired me to work, which is kind of an interesting story. When I was in high school, back in the 90s, autism wasn't very prevalent as it is today. So there was a lot of students who had autism who weren't diagnosed as having autism. So as some of you might know, or you might not, autism affects socialization tremendously. And I had met a student who was kind of getting some bullying and stuff from other kids. And you know, he was just a great kid, and I kind of brought him into our crew of friends, and it was great. And I just remember back then being, you know, there was no diagnosis, like I said, of autism, and here's a student who had significant social issues and nobody there to help out. So that kind of inspired me to want to get involved in the field and want to help other students and other children with autism be able to kind of learn how to socialize and not miss out on a lot of things. So what I want to talk about today is a little bit about the importance of socialization and spreading autism awareness, as well as the importance of learning some functional skills that are related to autism. Oh, cool, you got my slideshow up right there, I'm sorry. There we go, there we go. So first off, I just want to start off by saying, what is autism? So what autism is it is a neurological disorder. Some people refer to it as autism spectrum disorder, which is ASD. It refers to a broad range of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors in speech, and nonverbal communication. And according to the Centers for Disease Control, autism today affects an estimated 1 in 54 children in the United States. So that you could tell it is a very, very high prevalence rate. And indicators of autism usually appear by age 2 or 3. Some associated developmental delays can appear even earlier and some often. It can even appear as early as 18 months. But the key is research shows that early intervention leads to outcomes later in life that are really, really good for kids, people with autism. That information was obtained from autismspeaks.org, a great organization who I've helped fundraising. We're actually fundraising right now through Hammersholt, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So the one thing I wanted to talk about is the importance of social skills, and I'm going to start with autism awareness. So spreading autism awareness is really important because a lot of people are not familiar with autism. They see students with autism just having a special need and a disability, and they don't really understand autism. So for me, the importance starts with spreading autism awareness. So as a teacher in a middle school, I have done several things to try to help spread awareness. So for instance, this year, I am a student council advisor. So right now I'm having my student council members record facts that they're going to be sharing on their social media platforms, as well as throughout the school to other staff members. And just spreading facts alone every day is just one little small step to just helping kids become aware on what autism is. Now, throughout the school, obviously this year is much different. But in the past, there's so many things that we've done every week, whether it's different contests and competitions, to help spread awareness. And I think that's the key for everyone everywhere. I mean, if you're involved in school or education, awareness is key. I've started several different programs, and one of them I'd like to talk about is a program that I call Buddy Sports. Now in East Brunswick, which is great, we're going to get to this in a second, but there's a lot of buddy programs where students with special needs and autism are able to play sports like baseball, basketball, in a good, friendly environment. So that kind of inspired me to create a program that we use throughout Hammersholt right now called Buddy Sports. And what Buddy Sports is, it includes students with special needs, students with autism throughout the entire population of Hammersholt. And they're paired up with general ed students who, from the mainstream, who want to just come and help out, become friends, and really help students with special needs kind of develop some good social skills while playing games and having a good time. So the reason why Buddy Sports has been so effective is because once students learn about autism, they just want to come and they can't stop coming to help out and wanting to, play games and interact. And it's programs like that where you're involving, gen ed students and you're mixing it with students with special needs. That's the kind of social interaction that students need. And again, in school, there's a lot of things that we can do, but outside of school, these things can continue. In East Brunswick alone, I had mentioned, there's a buddy baseball program, there's a buddy football, basketball. And as you guys heard a video before, the Camp Daisy program, I mean, that's an amazing program where students learn a lot of social skills and a lot of functional skills that can really be beneficial to their lives going forward. And living in East Brunswick, like I said, there's a lot available, but anywhere you go, there's programs, rec centers, they offer all kinds of different things. And I think for someone, who has special needs, who has autism, that's what they need. They need interaction. They need more exposure to, to activities that mainstream kids do on a regular basis. So I believe it's really important for that socialization piece to continue on. Now, in terms of functional skills, this is kind of related to, after spreading awareness, helping to increase social skills. students really, or students with autism or special needs, really need to develop functional skills. One of the things that I pride myself on in my teaching and my educational background is teaching students functional skills. When I started in East Brunswick, like I said, 2007, I realized that students there was really no opportunity to practice these skills. So a teacher who had retired, who I inherited her classroom and things, I found an old coffee machine and found out that she was doing a little coffee program to help promote job-related skills. So I thought, what a great way to help not only expose students to others, other teachers and other kids throughout the building, but also to learn some of these skills related to business. So that year, I ended up creating the HMS Cafe. And the Cafe program was a program, again, designed for students to develop job-related skills while working on communication, socialization, and teamwork. Because students from this program, they all work together. They all have different jobs. We have students who make coffee. We have students who answer the phone. We have students who work a cash register. Now, it's on a very small scale, but it gets a lot of exposure throughout the school, and students get a really good sense of responsibility and what it's like to actually work in a job. And this is starting at grade 6. As students move up, as they get into high school, there's a lot of different community programs that do very similar things, all related to, again, these functional skills. Aside from the Cafe program, now one of the reasons why, aside from wanting to create this opportunity for students, it was also a way to provide funding for community field trips. The other piece to this is community learning. Students really need to understand how to learn in the community. So what I do is, from the Cafe, we're able to fund field trips where the students are allowed to go to, let's say, ShopRite, or let's sit down for lunch at a restaurant like Chili's, or even just go to the movie theater. All of these are skills that we kind of take for granted, but by providing these trips, students are with their peers, and they're in a fun environment learning how to kind of navigate through some of the challenges that come with going out into the community. So the community field trips are definitely a big piece of the program that I'm thankful to be a part of. So that is a very, very big piece of functional learning, is getting into the community and allowing students to experience that. Now, at home, there are several ways you can do this at home. Routines such as chores, taking a trip to the grocery store. And I know right now it's kind of not the safe thing to do, but on a normal basis, going to the grocery store, allowing kids to have the access to money in terms of how much things cost and budgeting. These are all things that kids should be exposed to on a daily basis. And this can happen at home. Like I said, through chores and trips to the stores and all that. So this is a really good routine that anyone at home should really experience, is get them involved. The more exposure, the more these skills will then stick with them. So I really think overall, having the functional skills prevalent in students' lives every day is important. It's a big piece of learning and growing. And it doesn't stop. And have them involved every which way you can. And I believe that's it. It was an absolute pleasure to be a part of this. I hope that from this you were able to see the importance of socialization and having functional skills available to students with autism. So thank you so much for having me. I'm really enjoying this event, and I hope everyone else is enjoying it as well.
Thank you, Mike. We are putting the resources. The video is going to stay online for folks to go back, check on the PowerPoint presentation, the points that you talked about, and truly socialization and integrating in some way with the mainstream kids, right? It's so important.
Very
And
important.
like you said, that, you know, once the mainstream kids interact with them, or, you know, have some level of understanding, it's so much easier. They come forward, they become, you know, a contributor, right? And they take the next steps to become the buddy, the friend, the, you know, help the kids in the social spectrum assimilate into the larger society. So I think excellent points. The PowerPoint stays there. The resources that Mike talked about, everything is going to stay on our Facebook page. And you know where to find him. And you know, a lot of township resources he gave out, and also, you know, his association with the East Brunswick Public School, of course. And so thank you, Mike, once again. And
No problem. It was my pleasure.
all right. And with that, we come to the last piece of the event. It's, you know, we thought about, it's about presentation, speeches, spreading awareness. And we wanted to make it a little more fun with a dance workshop. And to present that dance workshop, it's a Bollywood dance workshop. And, you know, I think Dr. Pillai, all of the speakers today have talked about how important it is to move, to, you know, to stay in a fun space and not let this cabin fever get to you, right? And that's what we are trying to do. And I think we all decided that this dance workshop would be a fantastic way to end the afternoon. And to present that would be you know, my ICS committee member, somebody who's very dear to us, and she is a teacher in East Brunswick Public School. She's a dancer, a choreographer, and is part of our ICS theater community. And we're just a wonderful personality, always, you know, trying to help out wherever she can. And I must mention this, what was very touching when COVID happened, and, you know, we were looking for resources to connect, you know, the membership with people who had skills to help our children, our families. Pooja was the first one to text me to spread out to the entire membership that she was ready to help with tutoring for kids who were having problem with math and the, you know, the transition to home learning. And there were so many parents who were so thankful to have, you know, some teacher just, you know, go through just membership, make that connect right away as soon as the school went on to Zoom learning. So without further ado, let me have Pooja Daga take the floor, and we need to kind of switch on and get on the screen and learn the moves she's about to teach us. So all yours, Pooja.
Thank you so much, Devjani. It's always been a pleasure to be part of ICS and part of being part of ICS Theater. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this Bollywood workshop. I think we've been sitting for a while, we've been watching those screens, but now it's time for you to get up and make sure you have some space around you. I actually had to clear out my second bedroom here so I can have some space. So I'm going to be moving back and forth, but make sure that you have some space to move around, because it's time to get a little sweaty and just have a little bit of fun. Now, every single time I do a Bollywood workshop, I like to pick songs that are a little special and talk about India's culture. So today, I actually picked out a song that was originally a Bengali song that came from Calcutta. Now, Calcutta is very dear to me because my parents grew up in Calcutta, so they speak Bengali, and I don't understand Bengali, so usually when they're speaking, I assume they're talking about me. But it's such a beautiful language, and it's such a beautiful culture in Calcutta. I have so much family there. And this song obviously is a remix because that's Bollywood's new thing, to like take older songs and bring it to the new generation. And so this song, you will hear, those of you who speak Hindi, you're gonna hear a little bit of Bengali lyrics in it, and that just makes it so exciting. So without further ado, we're gonna be listening to Genda Fool, and I'm gonna have the audio on, but before we start there, let me just check. All right. Okay, so now that we know my audio is working. Okay, so you guys are spread out. You guys have a lot of space for yourself because we are going to be moving back and forth and across. So our first step here is you're taking your hand and you're going down, touching the floor. And as your hand is coming up, your left leg is coming in. Okay, so again, as soon as the music starts, you should be down here and moving your way up. Yes? And then we're going to be moving out. So if your left hand is going that way, your left foot is going that way in the opposite direction. Coming in, out, in. So down first, slowly come in, out, in, out. Yes? From there, we're going to sway over and have a little pose. Okay, so if you notice, my right knee now came up, and now I have a little pose. My chest is up. I'm feeling a little bit of strength right here. There should be a little pull right here. So again, we are down, coming up, out, in, out, sway a little bit, and switch your weight. So let's try that with the music. You ready? Your hands are already down here. I'm going to start the music and join you. All right. How was that? I hope I'm getting some thumbs up here. All right, one more time without the music. You are down, coming up, out, in, out. Switch your weight. And at this point, you want to kind of calm down and do a little wink. Maybe if you got your partner next to you, you got your kids next to you, a little bit of wink. Okay, we're going to do it with a little bit of attitude. Okay, let's do it one more time with the music. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So once we are done with that, we are here. We gave a wing, and now all of your weight should be on your left leg. We're going to switch it. 1, 2, 3. Snap right hand. 1, 2, 3. Snap left hand. 1, 2, 3. Snap right. 1, 2, 3. Snap left. So I did it 4 times. We were here. We gave a little wink. All of your weight was on your left leg. You're going to switch the weight. Switch, switch, snap, switch, 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 snap. And we're going to do it 2 more times. All right? Let's do this with the music. Down. And wink. Switch, 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 snap. 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 How's that? And have a little bit of fun with this. The whole point of this is we're stuck inside our house. We have nowhere to go. It's raining outside today. Yesterday it was beautiful. So we want to take this time to get up and move. One more time with the music. You ready? Ooh, a little bit of breath. Wink. Last one. All right. So from here, you just finished your wing. You're all the way to the back of your room. So now we got to move up a little bit. Since we are here, we just snapped. We're going to step, step, and this is a little tunka, a little bit of hip movement. Yes, you're feeling it in your abs a little bit. Yes, so we are step, step, hip, hip, step, step. Your hands come up. Okay, this is a little bit of hip hoppy, so it's gotta be boom, boom. You should like feel some pain right here. Okay, so after your last snap, you're going to step, step, tunka, tunka, step, step, left up, right up. Okay, let's try that much from the beginning. Remember the beginning, we're down. Okay, let's try this again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Wink is coming up. Back. Snap. 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 How was that? Let's do it one more time with the music. Ready?
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक.
You're sweating a little bit. I sure am. I'm going to have to turn the fan on a little bit. Okay, so here we are. 1, 2, matak, matak. 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, you're going to go down. You're collapsing a little bit, taking a deep breath. So you're 1, 2, down. 1, 2. Like Pooja, we're really sweating here. Okay, so again, you are here. You're going to go down, sweat, sweat. All of your weight right now is on your thighs, kind of on your right leg. And you're gonna switch, and you're gonna give a little pose. Remember that pose that you gave here before? It's the same, but on the other side. Okay, so let's watch this one. You walked, walked, pumak, pumak, walked, walked, fist, fist, down. Whew. And change the weight. Okay, this one's a lot of attitude. All right, let's try that together from the beginning. Wink. Oh, it's all about the attitude.
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माझी सटक सटक बम तेरा को देखा है.
Some of you knew that step was coming, right? I could tell. Some of you just knew that step was coming. As you change your weight, Aja Maji, Satak Satak, very Mumbaiya, right? Let's try that again. We're gonna shift the weight. Ata Maji, Satak Satak. Yes? Let's try it again. One more time.
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माझी सटक सटक बम तेरा को देखा है कमर पे.
Did you hear that? Bum tera kote kai. So you are here. You give a little bit of attitude. Bum. Switch your weight. Okay? Your weight was on your right leg. You're going to switch your weight to your left leg. You're going to do a little bit of this because he's admiring her waist. It's beautiful. And the waist has a little butterfly tattoo on it. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very casual. All right? Let's try that.
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माझी सटक सटक बम तेरा को देखा है कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई.
This is what I do in the classroom. I forget a step, like, oh, I did that purposely. I made that mistake purposely. So you're here, switched your weight. We're going to do a step, step. So hopefully you can see my feet here. You were here, 1, 2, switched your weight, step with your right, and the left comes forward. And then we do this. Yes? Very, very attitude-y, that one. Let's try it again.
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माझी सटक सटक बम तेरा को देखा है कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई.
How was that? All right. Should we keep going a little bit? Okay. So we are here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's admiring how beautiful she is. Beautiful waist, got a butterfly tattoo. Now, look at your entire body. Look at your entire body. Let's do it with the music.
चले जब तू लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुते खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए.
Did we get that? Body तेरी मक्खन जैसी खाने में बस तू butter खाए. Okay. So we're going to put lotion on because we want baby skin. All right, let's try that one more time. Are you giving the attitude?
चले जब तू लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुते खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए. Come on baby, kick it, cartoon.
All right. How do you feel so far? Are you guys sweating? Good sweating, hopefully? All right. Let's try that one more time. I'm going to keep going. Whew. Maybe I should go outside soon.
चले जब तू लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुते खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए. Come on baby, kick it, काटू तेरी टिकट.
All right. So you did 1, 2, raise your left cheek. Your weight is on your right leg, so we're going to switch it. 1, 2. Okay, he's asking her to dance. Come on, let's dance. Right? So you are here. 1, 2, 3, 4. He wants her to come and enjoy it. So again, you are here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes? We're going to step up a little bit. Do a little bit of shimmy. Your right shoulder's coming up a little bit. Going back. And we're going to cut. A little bit of tumka again. Okay? Let's try that. Oops.
खेलता नहीं.
Don't forget that wing.
चले जब तू लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुते खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए. Come on baby, kick it, काटू तेरी टिकट खेलता नहीं cricket पर.
Did you get that one? Again, we were here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, again, we are here. Do what's natural to you. Sometimes I like to say dance is just like walking, right? If your weight is on your right leg, what do you want to do? You want to shift to the left leg. If you're already on your right leg, you can't walk with your right leg again, yes? So you finish on your right. So now left, right, a little bit of attitude, come ahead a little bit, back, cut. He wants to get her ticket. Like, come and see me, I'm ready to dance with you.
चले जब तू लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुते खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए.
Come on, baby.
Kick तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट विकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट.
Ooh, I am really sweating now. All right, so we're one breast, cut, cut. Okay, now the next line is खेलता नहीं cricket, cricket, cricket. I think all of you know what cricket is. We all watch the matches, right? So just like that, we're going to step up. We're going to have a bat in our hand. We're going to throw a sixer and land. Okay? So we are here, cut, finish the step, pick up the bat, hit a home run, and land right here. Yes? Okay, let's try that with the music.
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुदे खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए. Come on baby kick it kick it काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट विकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट विकेट.
All right, let me just see. Are we all good here? I just want to make sure that we'll all be able to see what we need to see. It seems like we're good. Okay, let's do that one more time. And I'm definitely turning that fan on because, whew. All right.
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुदे खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए. Come on baby kick it kick it काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट विकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट.
Okay, at this point, let's take a 2-minute break. It's very, very important, no matter if you're working out or if you're dancing, to drink some water. So take a second, get your breath together. Let's take a sip together. Wipe that sweat off. Whew. And take one more sip.
Awesome job, Pooja. Fantastic going.
Text you guys, make sure all is well. Can you guys see me all? Because I don't have my Zoom on.
Absolutely fantastic going so far. No
Okay,
break.
good. Okay. So, all right. Let's continue then. Whew. Some deep breaths. Whew. Okay. Let's start from the beginning again. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8.
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुदे खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए. Come on baby kick it kick it काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट विकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट विकेट.
Did you catch that? All right. Ooh. Okay, so here. Your legs are spread out. You're here. You're going to shift and shift. Okay, so shift to the right, shift to the left, and then boom, boom. Okay, so shift, shift, boom, boom. Okay, after that is my favorite part. That's where the Bengali part comes in. Okay, let's do that much together.
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुते खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए Come on baby kick it काटू तेरी टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट
So for the Bengali part, I actually sat down with my mom, and this is like the teacher talking a little bit because I hope to God that my students are doing this right now. Since I didn't know the music, I didn't know the language. Let's see if I can see myself here. Oh, where am I? Oh, okay. Whew. So since I don't know the language and my mom does, I actually decided to sit with her for a little bit, and she explained the choreography to me, because when I make choreography, it's really not about the steps. It's really about the meaning of the song. What is it that he or she's trying to say? I'm all about the face. You'll see my face is like always like, because I'm enjoying it so much. So while you're doing this, guys, it's really not about the steps. It's really about you enjoying yourself. So the next part, which is in Bengali, from what my mom said, so I'm quoting her. So if I'm wrong, Devjani, you can yell at her, and then you can yell at me. So, Bada Loke, Beti something. So it's big people's children are all beautiful, right? Which, have you seen Bengali women? They're beautiful, beautiful. They're so, so elegant, right? So we're gonna do that same thing. We're going to say, Bade Logo, Beti beautiful, right? This is beautiful, okay? And then Lomba Lomba, I wanna say chul, which is long, long hair, which I'm striving to get through this quarantine. A lot of coconut oil in my hair to get that lomba lomba hair, right? So, bade log, beautiful. Bade log, beautiful girls with lambe lambe baal, long hair, right? Let me go ahead and put some genda fool in her hair. So with this beautiful hair that she has, let's put some genda food, which is this orange, beautiful flower that people use in prayers, big ceremonies, weddings. So that's what the Bengali part is. I hope I got it right. So let's do that part. So again, where did we finish? We were here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to walk up and say, wow, beautiful, beautiful women, beautiful girls, their beautiful hair, and I'm going to put some genda food in their hair, okay? So, I'm still gonna start our music from the beginning, and we'll continue. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8.
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडो के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुते खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए Come on baby kick it काटू तेरी टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट
বড় লোকের বেটি লো লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধেছে বলাল গেন্দা বড় লোকের বেটি লো
Did you catch that? Oops, lost my music. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A little bit of sway, a little bit of sway, and it's slow. Be very gentle when you're putting the flower in your hair, right? Again, step up, pose, pose, hair, 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 and, oh, forgot the sway. Sway, sway, place the food in your hair, okay? The flower. All right. Very, very sensual. Like we were doing a lot of hip hop, a lot of sudden movement so far. This is supposed to be very beautiful, yes? Very beautiful walk up, showing very, very beautiful steps. You know, just enjoying your beautiful hair. You're just swaying in the garden Let me put some flowers in my hair. So this is when you wanna take some deep breaths like I am now, but just, this is your time to be very sensual. Yes? Okay, from the beginning.
चले जब तू लटक मटक लौंडो के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुदे खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए कम ऑन बेबी किक इट काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट क्रिकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट विकेट
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল কেন্ডা
Wind the body.
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা
How was that? One more time with the slow. 1, 2, 3, hair. 1, 2, 3, 4, putting the food. Okay? I'm just looking at my time to see, oh, I have plenty of time, good. One more time.
चले जब तू लटक मटक लौंडो के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुदे खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए कम ऑन बेबी किक इट काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट क्रिकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट विकेट
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল কেন্ডা
Wind the body.
বড় লোকের
Yes?
পিটিল লম্বা
Okay. We're going to stick to the classical dance a little bit. Now that you have flowers in your hair, the same lyrics repeat. So we're going to pick and we're going to spin. We're going to pick and we're going to spin. Now it's very important for you to watch where my hand is placed. There's a reason why it's here and it's not like this. It's like this. There's a reason for that. This is very typical type of classical dance. This is very different from this. So here I am picking with my left hand, picking from my right hand. Okay? Same music for when we were doing this. Yes? All right. Let's start again from the beginning.
चले जब तू लटक मटक लौंडो के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुदे खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए कम ऑन बेबी किक इट काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट क्रिकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट विकेट
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল কেন্ডা
Wind the body.
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব
I'm also going back a little bit as I do that because we moved up a lot. So if you didn't hear that, while we were here, I moved up a lot. So doing this, I'm kind of going back again to like my central space that I want to dance. All right. One more time, now that we got the hang of it. Oh, it didn't start. There we go.
चले जब तू लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुते खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए कम ऑन बेबी किक इट काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट क्रिकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट विकेट
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা
Wang the body
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা
How was that? Did you see the little addition I did? So we pulled and turned, pulled and turned. We're going to brush off the floor, step, brush off the floor, step, and finish with a nice little pose, right? Almost like a little garland of Ginda foods. Wouldn't that be beautiful? So again, you picked, turned, step, step, and garland. Okay, and that's a little pose. We still have a little bit to go. We still got the signature step to go to. All right, let's try it from the beginning. 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep that smile.
चले जब तू लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुते खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए कम ऑन बेबी किक इट काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट क्रिकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट विकेट
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা
Wang the body
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা
How's that? All right, so the signature step. If you guys don't know Bollywood movies, there's always a signature step that, like, you know, if you're going out dancing, this is the step that everybody knows, right? It's the signature step of the song. Woo. So here's the signature step. We just finished with our pose. Your right hand goes up, the left hand comes here, and if you hear, there's like a little guitar playing there. So we're gonna pretend to play the guitar. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, like I said before, I dance with my face. So yes, my body's moving, but as I'm doing 3, I'm also looking to the left. As I'm doing 3, I'm looking to the right, because dancing with your face is just as important as dancing with your entire body, right? So again, signature step. Right hand is up, left is here. You got a guitar playing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's part of the signature step. Let's do this much. All right.
चले जब तू लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गुते खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए कम ऑन बेबी किक इट काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट क्रिकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट विकेट
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা
Wang the body
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা
Yes. How is that? We're almost done. One more step. That's also the signature step after this. So we finished looking to the right. We're going to move to the left twice. Okay, so this was a little bit more difficult. Move, come in, move again. Move, come in. This is the only time where you like step with the foot and then step with that foot again. Okay, so again, you finished here. You're gonna go 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay, and then we'll do that 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to do a little wave. And that's the end of our segment. So let's try it. Whew. You guys are leaving here for the solid minute 15 of this entire song. The next time we ever get out of this quarantine and you're at a party, you're set.
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माझी सटक सटक बम तेरा गुदे खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए Come on baby kick it काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट क्रिकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट विकेट
বড় লোকের পিটিলো লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা ফুল বড় লোকের পিটিলো লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা
Woo! Oh my gosh! We finished a whole segment of this song. Okay, let's take a quick break, and then we're really going to enjoy this because again, like I said, yes, we're learning the moves, but the next few minutes, we're going to do it over and over again because practice makes perfect, but I really want you to enjoy yourself. Forget if you didn't know a step. Do what you want to do, but keep going and let's enjoy ourselves. So let's take a quick break. Let's have a drink. Whew. I have my fan on, but it's not helping. Whew. All right, you guys ready? All right, let's take it home. Whew. One more time, you guys ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, you're enjoying yourself.
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडों के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माझी सटक सटक बम तेरा गुदे खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए Come on baby kick it काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट क्रिकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट विकेट
বড় লোকের পিটিলো লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা ফুল বড় লোকের পিটিলো লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা ফুল
All right, let's do it 2 more times together, yes? And we are going to make sure that we send you a link of this song. So if you feel like you don't know what song it is, it's going to be at your disposal. All right, let's do this 2 more times. Whew.
तो लटक मटक लौंडो के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गोते खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए कम ऑन बेबी किक इट काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट क्रिकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट विकेट
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা
Wing the body
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা ফুল
सावला सा रंग
How you feeling?
सावला सा ढंग
I feel like this is a very, very good warm up to maybe now go outside and get our 5,400 steps. I mean, it's a little damp out, but I'm in Helmeta. I don't really see a lot of rain, but you're all pumped up. So maybe we can put on a rain jacket and get out there and get our steps in, right? So let's do it one more time and then we'll call it a day. All right.
चले जब तो लटक मटक लौंडो के दिल पटक पटक सांसें जाए अटक अटक आता माची सटक सटक बम तेरा गोते खाए कमर पे तेरी बटरफ्लाई बॉडी तेरी मक्खन जैसे खाने में बस तू बटर खाए कम ऑन बेबी किक इट काटू तेरी टिकट टिकट खेलता नहीं क्रिकेट क्रिकेट पर ले लूं तेरी विकेट विकेट
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা
Wing the body
বড় লোকের পিটিল লম্বা লম্বা চুল এমন মাথায় বেঁধে দেব লাল গেন্দা ফুল
सावला सा रंग तेरा बावला सा ढंग तेरा मुझसे छू
How do you feel? Oh my gosh, I'm getting back to my video. Wow, I look like a mess. Oh. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I had such a good time. It's the first time I worked out in a couple weeks. I'm glad I did, but clearly I need to get back to it. Johnny, what did you think about my
Amazing, Pooja, amazing. And the best,
It's just so lovely.
And we have this saved, you know, this is a choreography unlike a Bollywood workshop that you've done before. People don't have to bank on their memories, just go back. So Facebook has the video, you know, go back 100 times, perfect it so that you're ready when the quarantine is over, you know, God willing soon. And, you know, when we're back to partying and the Pooja's dance is going to come, you know, I'm going to save this. And I know Ruchira is going to learn. And if you have joined today or not been able to join, you know, this is something you can visit later. And that brings up that's a wrap up, guys, right? Ashish, Pooja, I have from ICS committee. It's, you know, we did our little part today. Of course, we wouldn't have canceled this event. We have the tools to go online to connect with you and, you know, a little bit, whatever we could to spread awareness about children in the spectrum, about families in the spectrum, what you can to do to engage and learn about how you can be part of the community. And remember, 1 in 54 kids get diagnosed in the autism spectrum, and which is why we said you can do your part by recording your steps. I'm very new, as Pooja, Ashish, no, I walk around, I never record, but you know, yesterday I said, okay, it was nice. I carried the phone. You don't need gadgets, tools to buy, it's free. Record, send it to us. We have 1 more day and we can make a collage and post so that, you know we did something together. Thank you so much once again. I would like to thank the Autism Awareness team, ICS team, that helped us put this together, the technology, the marketing, and the ideas, and the members who connected with the speakers. Thank you, everybody, and thank you to all the speakers who came on today. Ashish and Pooja, parting thoughts?
Absolutely. This was an amazing session today. Pooja, you are awesome as always. A treasure that we have. Thanks to Mr. Mike Swayze, Prachi, who came on, Dr. Raji, Dr. Pillai. Absolutely wonderful to have more learning about the topic we had today, and we had it in a fun way. So absolutely wonderful. I'm sure everybody enjoyed it, and we, as usual, we have actually been good on time as well, and we are also ending on time also.
Yes. And stay connected with this Facebook page, because looks like we're going to be connected with you guys through this page. Everything's going to happen here. The information through this page, meditation class coming up, art class, dance class. We have a host of, new ways to get and stay connected. And, until we touch base again, stay safe, stay healthy. I pray for all your families, and maybe get over this together, and maybe have the strength to stay connected. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Go ICS.